If stress eating is fucking up your fat loss, fat loss or hormone health journey, this is the ultimate supplement stack, the ultimate morning routine, the timing, the caffeine, the meals that you're going to eat, because stress eating isn't about willpower and discipline and that you have a weak mindset. Stress eating is about what you're doing in the day that's causing you to stress eat in the evening. Where are the hormones becoming imbalanced? Where are we going on these just high cortisol, balls to the walls, cannot get out of fight or flight? Where are we going on these dopamine hunts for food or for alcohol? It's not that you're addicted to food. It's not that you're addicted to alcohol with that stress eating. It's that you're addicted to the sensation of it coming down. So I'm going to take you through the full supplement stack if you are a stress eater, because your best defense is going to be your morning offense, okay? You can also DM me, don't comment here, but DM me for the full guide of what you should be eating throughout the day, the supplements you should be taking, the timing, when exactly you should be doing it, the caffeine intake, all that stuff, okay? So I'm going to get right into it. So you're going to wake up. First thing you do when you wake up, you go take your probiotic, fasted. Why are you taking it fasted? Because once you take it with food, that basically destroys all the probiotics, right? Once you take your probiotics, okay, a minute or two later, say you wake up at 6 a.m. 6:02 a.m., you're going to flush it down with 24 ounces of water. That's going to, get the probiotics into the gut where they are, where they need to be. The other thing it does is it stimulates your vagal nerve. Your vagal nerve is what takes you out of fight or flight and helps chill out your cortisol. Now, after that, right, and maybe that's 6:02 a.m., 6:05 a.m., you're going to have your first cup of coffee, also fasted. And you're probably thinking, well, Dylan, you made all these reels about fasting and caffeine intake and how bad that is because it's going to spike your cortisol because there's no buffer. This is what you're going to do. And when you do this, you should, and I always talk about you shouldn't feel supplements. You should feel this. If you're doing this right, you should actually feel this. And you can have, a shot of espresso, a double shot, a cup of coffee, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to take with 200 milligrams of L-theanine. L-theanine, they have a great one at Costco, Sports Research, sun-theanine, and freeform L-theanine is probably the most bioavailable forms. You can also get it at Costco, or Whole Foods rather. Solar Ray has a really good brand as well. Can't really go wrong, but look on the back for those two bioavailable forms. Now, what L-theanine does when you take it with this caffeine is it takes down that cortisol spike. So when you take this, you actually shouldn't get any jitters. You should feel very focused and relaxed, like you're just like locked in. You have all this energy. It should smooth out that cortisol spike that you would otherwise be getting. And so what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to really control that dopamine and not get that huge high followed by that huge low, which is when that huge low happens, that's when we go on these dopamine hunts, right? So with that, I would also, optional, right? It's in the title, sucker free. NAC, this is optional. If you're a drinker, you should always have NAC, N-acetylcysteine. This just helps your liver do its detox job. It also helps trigger more dopamine release, right? So the L-theanine is going to help cool it so it doesn't get a huge spike and you don't get the jitters and you feel like you take over the world and then 2 seconds later you're crashed, right? NAC is going to help you smooth as well by bringing that dopamine up a little bit, okay? So you have your caffeine, you got your L-theanine, you got your NAC, and that's within basically after you take a probiotics 5 minutes. So let that probiotic go in there, get some water in there, get into the gut to its job, boom, you should be good, okay? Now 15 minutes later, so let's say, this is going to be 7:20 a.m. You're going to have your first meal. High protein, 20 to 30 grams. Whenever you have protein that's high, it's going to help regulate your dopamine. It's going to help you bring that up. Again, everything you can see that I'm talking about is dopamine, right? Because you're trying to get that natural dopamine rather than having a huge spike and then coming down, okay? Now, that meal, I would have some fiber if you can with it, okay? Blueberries, any types of fruit should be good to go, okay? Now, that's basically what you're going to be doing first thing in the morning, okay? You got that. Now, if you have another cup of coffee or if you have like a pre-workout, like you have a mid-morning workout, I would take more L-theanine so, again, you don't get that huge spike, okay? 200 milligrams. You can also take like a peptide like Semlax. Those are on Amazon. Those will really help blunt that cortisol spike. So, again, we're trying to just control your dopamine throughout the day. Post-workout, 20, 30 grams of protein. If you are working out, you can just use like a Nuri protein shake. That's going to really help you with your blood sugar levels, because those blood sugar dips is what's going to cause those cravings, the stress eating. Okay. Now, important, mid-morning, I would take 200 milligrams of rhodiola rosea. Again, that you can get that at Whole Foods. That's a cheap one. It's like $10. And you can kind of just put it by, wherever you frequent mid-morning. Like if you go back at home, or if you're in your car, wherever it is, you can actually frequent that. That's going to chill you out, give you that nice, relaxed, focused chill. So that should be like the ultimate routine to really set you up for success, to where like that 3 p.m. dip, you're not looking for those snacks. That 7 p.m., 8 p.m. dip, you're not looking for more snacks. That should really cool you out. I put the entire day of what everything should line up with like your ashwagandha, your magnesium glycinate in the evening, GABA if you're taking it. If you can't really turn that mind off, GABA is a good one. I put a full day free guide. So go into the DMs. I'm probably not going to be going to the DMs until tomorrow, just a heads up. So if I don't get that to you right away, sorry. But DM me stress eating blueprint, and I'll give you the full day. Again, it's not about willpower. It's not about like getting really disciplined like these dumbass influencers talk about. Like, it's not about that at all. It's about having a day where you are setting yourself up for success. So you're not going on these dopamine hunts to actually get with food. Does this apply to me if I have adrenal insufficiency? Well, if you have adrenal insufficiency, I'm guessing you're working with a naturopath. So I don't want to step on toes. I would ask that functional medicine doctor or that naturopath. So that should be helpful. Love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hope this helps.